The upcoming session codes is an advanced one, and it is going to be highly essential for you whenever you deal with thousands of activities. In Primavera P6, codes are user-defined labels used to classify, group, filter, sort, and report project information. Let's take an example of activity codes in P6. Activity codes can be used to classify activities in different ways, such as area, discipline, responsibility, or any other category that suits the project requirements. This will give you a clear understanding of what activity codes are and why they are important. In many projects, the main WBS is organized by major project phases such as mobilization, procurement, engineering, construction, and commissioning. However, there are times when we need to identify only the civil activities, only the mechanical activities, or only the electrical activities or any other manner according to our requirement within those WBS elements. In simple terms, activity codes allow us to quickly filter, group, sort, and report activities based on the required criteria. In Primavera P6, there are different types of codes available. They are resource codes, project codes, activity codes, role codes, and assignment codes. All of these can be accessed from the Enterprise menu. Each type of code has a specific purpose. Resource codes are used to categorize and organize resources. Project codes are used to classify and organize projects. They allow you to group projects based on criteria such as region, client, business unit, or project type. Activity codes are used to categorize activities based on factors provided by us. They also make filtering, grouping, and reporting much easier. Similarly, role codes are used to classify different roles, while assignment codes are used to categorize resource assignments for better management and reporting. Now, when you create a code in Primavera P6, you will notice that there are 3 different levels available. Global, EPS, Project. This concept is very similar to what we learned earlier about calendars. Global codes are available across all projects in the database. EPS codes are available only to the projects that belong to a particular enterprise project structure, EPS. Project codes are specific to an individual project. A code created at the project level can only be used within that project and will not be available in any other project. Therefore, before creating a code, it is important to decide whether it should be created at the global, EPS, or project level. Choosing the correct level helps you organize your projects efficiently and makes filtering, grouping, and reporting much more effective. Now let's understand activity codes in a practical way. As we usually do, let's open an existing project so we can explain everything with a real example. If you look at this project, there are several activities available. First, let's work with activity codes. As we discussed earlier, Primavera P6 provides 3 types of activity codes: global, EPS, and project activity codes. In this example, we are going to create a project activity code. Go to the Project Activity Code section and click Modify. In the Modify window, click Add. Here, we are going to define our subcontractors. So, let's create a new activity code called subcontractor. Once it is created, click Close. Now we have successfully created a project activity code named subcon. Next, we need to define the values for this activity code. Let's add our first value. Code 001. Description: Engineering Design Team. This represents the engineering design work that has been outsourced to a subcontractor. Now let's add another value. Code 002. Description: Excavation Team. This subcontractor will be responsible for the excavation work. Next, let's create another one. Code 003. Description: Waterproofing Team. You can create as many values as required depending on your project. This is only an example. Instead of subcontractors, you could also classify activities by mechanical, electrical, civil, discipline, area, responsibility, or any other category that suits your project. When you practice this in a real project, the concept will become much clearer. Now close the Modify window and return to the Activities window. Right-click on the column header and choose Columns. Search for activity code, select the sub-con activity code we created, and click Apply. You will now see a new column in the Activities table. Let's assign the activity code values. For the engineering activities, assign Engineering Design Team 001. Similarly, assign the remaining engineering activities to the same team. For the civil construction activities, assign Excavation Team 002 where applicable. Likewise, assign the waterproofing-related activities to Waterproofing Team 003. Now let's see the real advantage of activity codes. Go to Group and Sort. Select the sub-con activity code as the grouping criteria and click Apply. Immediately, all activities will be grouped based on their assigned subcontractors. You can clearly see separate sections for Engineering Design Team, Excavation Team, Waterproofing Team. This is one of the biggest advantages of activity codes. If required, you can also keep the WBS and use the sub-con activity code as a primary grouping. After applying the settings, all the activities under each WBS will be further organized based on the responsible subcontractor. This makes it very easy to identify who is responsible for each activity and helps in project monitoring, reporting, and filtering. Let's look at the remaining code types available in P6. Go to the Enterprise menu and open Resource Codes. If you look here, you will notice that a few resource codes are already created. Resource codes can be created based on your project requirements, such as contractor-based classification, discipline, department, or any other categorization you need. Modify existing resource codes. Delete codes that are no longer required. The next option is assignment codes. Similar to resource codes, assignment codes can also be created according to your project requirements. If you have installed the sample projects, you will already find a few predefined assignment codes. Assignment codes can be used for both role-based and resource-based assignments. However, among all of them, the activity code is the most important and the one that is used most frequently in day-to-day project planning and scheduling. Activity codes help organize, filter, group, sort, and report project activities efficiently, making them an essential feature in P6.